Woolly mammoths, perhaps other than dinosaurs, are the most well-known extinct species. However, sightings and modern-day science may soon change that. This video will be divided into two parts. The first half of reported sightings suggesting the mammoths survived thousands of years past their extinction date. The second half of the video look at the methods of de-extinction scientists are using that will, most likely in our lifetimes, yield a living mammoth. The last accepted woolly mammoths died isolated on Wrangel Island around 3,700 years ago. But in 579 in China, Chinese hunters captured what they called the great elephant, described as being much larger than regular elephants and having long, dark fur, making this creature more likely to be a mammoth instead. In 1568, English explorer David Ingram reported seeing two hairy elephants in modern-day Nova Scotia, Canada. He logged many other animals he saw with great accuracy in case you're doubting his credibility. In the 1580s, a group of Russian mercenaries in Siberia spotted a herd of giant creatures they had never seen before. The indigenous people of the area said they called them mountains of meat, and that sightings were rare, but if they saw one, they would kill it for its meat, fur, and tusks. That sounds about right. A 1873 article in The Zoologist published the testimony of a former Russian prisoner named Sheraton Bachamachanik that escaped his Siberian prison camps in the Alden Mountains. He made camp by a lake, and at night, large lumbering beasts came crashing through the trees. He claimed to shoot a pistol to scare them away. The next morning, he saw large elephant-like tracks and followed them to find gigantic, hairy elephants, standing nearly 10 feet tall, with 10-foot-long curving tusks. He said the herd numbered around 20. In the November 28, 1896 edition of the Portland Press gave an account of Colonel F.C. Fowler, who worked for the Alaskan Fur and Commercial Company and was sold 2 tusks by local Inuits. They had recently killed a creature that perfectly matched the description of a woolly mammoth. Then Governor Swineford of Alaska told him he believes herds mammoths still roam the Alaskan frontier. With that said, scientists today have recently been granted $15 million in funds raised by the bioscience and genetics company Colossal, and they say that you could expect the first elephant mammoth calves in the next 6 years. There are currently 3 possible ways to create a mammoth. The first way is cloning, somatic cell nuclear transfer. This has famously already been accomplished with Dolly the sheep. Step 1, you take DNA extracted from a frozen mammoth species. Step 2, DNA is spliced with skin cells from modern-day Asian elephants. Step 3, skin cells are reprogrammed to become stem cells and add to the egg of an Asian elephant that has had the nuclei removed. Step 4, egg is then stimulated to turn into an embryo. Step 5, the embryo would then either be implanted into a surrogate Asian elephant mother or grown in an artificial room that has yet to be developed. The next way is artificial insemination. You would need to take sperm cells from a frozen woolly mammoth carcass and implant them into a mother elephant. If, and it's a big if it takes and carries to full term, and the larger than normal baby for the elephant doesn't kill the mother, a perfect elephant-mammoth hybrid will be born. As demonstrated on my poorly drawn Punnett square shown here for the genetic makeup of an elephant-mammoth hybrid. But the next step is to then breed the hybrids together as shown in this Punnett square. Once you breed the hybrids together, the next generation, 1 in 4 calves born to a pair, would be a full-blooded woolly mammoth, and thus they would have returned from extinction. The third way to create a mammoth is through gene editing, modification, genetic recombination. This is the most promising, but the result is in reality just an Asian elephant that looks like a mammoth. It involves going in and altering the DNA sequence of an elephant to resemble a mammoth's, hairy, larger, more resistant to cold, etc. When one is created, the plan is then to put them first into the Pleistocene Park and then to rewild them into their natural habitats later on. And I know you're probably wondering, has any animal ever been brought back from extinction before through scientific means? And the answer is yes. The Pyrenean ibex was de-extinct through cloning in July 2003. Though sadly the living specimen died only 10 minutes later due to a lung defect, it became the first species to have returned from extinction through scientific means and will hopefully be used in the future as a template to bring back other extinct species. Also, the quagga, an extinct subspecies of plain zebras, is currently being bred back into existence through selective breeding by the Quagga Project. I encourage you to go look up that. It's fascinating, and hopefully they will be reintroduced back into the wild in the near future. So let me know in the comments if you believe mammoths could have survived thousands of years past their extinction date. Or do you support bringing them back from extinction? What method do you think should be used? I've never met a mammoth before, but I sure do miss them. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this.